Hello, Joyce, Carrie, John McGinnis. How's everyone doing? There she is. She's got to make an entrance. See that? She can't just be sitting down when we start. She's got to make an entrance. Hello, Carrie.
Because if I sit here and I do it, you say, "What are you doing? I'm not paying attention." So I figured I'd do it off.
Literally during the Mike Gonzalez interview, you were like this half the time.
Because I was
go back and watch that again. Very rude.
Okay, hold on.
Our special guest.
He doesn't get to do that. He doesn't get to do that
because
surfer it's not like I got to talk too much, but also
David, Christopher.
Just so y'all know, it's not
y'all. Just so y'all.
Could you let me finish talking for 1 second, please, sir? Just Paranormal save your button.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
I'm always looking over here because I have my phone. I'm so blind. I cannot read any of that. I can't see your names or anything. I literally, when I'm looking off to the side, I can't see because I'm looking on my phone.
Yeah.
What's coming up, and it's not like I get to talk that much anyway. So,
hey, Cheryl. Everybody knows you were rude, but that's okay. You got me here. To counteract that.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Your sweetness. I know. You're right.
Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Because I'm brutal.
Hello, Luann. Coming down to my house, Ocean City, Saturday night for night in Venice. Huh?
Oh.
What's up, Kevin? How are you?
Oh.
So, when we left you last, it was what? The Mike interview. For that, it was Scraper Gallery. John, you look like a Muppet just then. Thank you. Appreciate that. Karen is an LBN for life. Goodbye, Karen. I'm going to give y'all, Chris, hey, y'all all you want.
That's right.
Good. Well, I can think of Kevin. Kevin, we saw Kevin in Gettysburg for the Battlefield Bash. And the whole entire time I was looking at him, I was picturing that shirt that he wore for the dream interpretation, where the eyes from the Muppet were staring at me the whole time.
Never gonna forget that.
Hey, Susan, how are you? 2 Susans. How are you? So we did tour. I don't even know if we talked about this. We were invited to a college in Jersey. Can't say where it is yet because we don't know what's going to happen there. We met with them. They took us through a tour. We heard about the things that were going on in a particular office, in a hallway, and
the many different things that it's been through history.
Yeah, and there was really interesting stuff outside that we can't talk about, but religious stuff. That's all we can kind of say. But um, really interesting. We'll see where it goes if we wind up doing anything with them. They had seen us, they watch us, and they're looking to do something for their alumni of this college. So, we may go in there for that and then may wind up doing something else. But of course, it all starts with an investigation of. You're totally distracting me, Mike.
It's not my fault. You need to grab it.
No. What? Yeah. Yeah, Mike. Sure. Yeah, so Mike, what were you doing on the Race Chasers?
Y'all lucky he's here tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Susan. Susan bought you. But anyway, again, it was really cool to visit another college and be invited there and tour and hear the stories, and hopefully something works out, because like I said, it's this particular college. We can't say the name until we're sure we're going to be working with them, but the tour was very interesting. Like you said, what those buildings were before they were a college and what is around that building. I know I'm being very cryptic.
Yeah, there are so many different levels of interest of why that place would be haunted to begin with. And if we get the opportunity to kind of peel that onion back layer by layer, it will definitely be very interesting. I was excited.
I miss you guys. Oh, Susan,
Aw,
that's
we
right. We
missed
saw
you
Susan
too.
in Gettysburg for the bash,
Yep.
which was a really cool weekend. Again, we had a great time in Gettysburg. But we're pretty much sold out for all the events that we're doing from now until November. The only thing that we do have tickets available for are the ghost walks at the Sterling Hill Mine every Sunday. There's two different. Hey, Travis. There's two different tours, an earlier one and a later one. So if you can't do the whole 4 hours for a ghost hunt, and it's a little more affordable. It's only $25. You can bring your family members to this one. I mean, not little kids, but teenagers, 12-year-old, 11-year-old. They can come on this thing. It's kind of a scaled down version of what we do, in that we take people through and we use devices and we do EVP sessions, and we take you through the whole mine in the dark.
Oh, you definitely get a sense, and just a good. We give you a good taste what it's like to be in there, and then it gives you a really good sample of what you would be dealing with doing a full investigation in there with us.
We had a great time doing it last year. This year is going to be a little rougher because of the schedule leading from September into October into the expo in November. But I was happy to see the Camp Evans event in October sell out. A lot of new names on that list, which is a good thing. We like, again, the people that have followed us, they come to a lot of our events as well. But it's nice to see a nice mixture, because it's good to see the mixture of people who've been there before making friends with people who are there now. And it's funny because they always introduce themselves, especially if they're in groups with them. And people like Kathy and others, Deb.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just used to, being around people that have been with us and meeting new people. And they just make them feel right at home within, whatever events we're doing. So that's a really cool thing.
Fortunate.
So that's sold out. So again, that's all of September, all of October, and now we're getting into November, December, which I never thought I'd be talking about this early, but it is almost August. I mean, let's face it, the year's going by.
Do I have to?
Really, really quick, and the expo is literally over that hill. We can see it now. It's coming. Camp Evans last time was great. Yeah, John Zaffis. That's in a couple of weeks. We'll be back there with John Zaffis again. I'm
sure. My God, it is, isn't it?
I'm sure there'll be another tornado warning or two.
Don't say that.
John seems to bring out the bad weather for whatever reason. And he'll see the love tub again. I can't wait for the Sterling Mine Ghost Walk, the Expo, and then y'all. That's in November as well with Adam at Liberty Hall again. And then December, again, that's one that I'm really going to start talking about and promoting. The Hoover House in Waynesboro. the Hoover House itself is a haunted bed and breakfast. Cody and Satori will be there, I'm sure, with not as many objects as last time, but haunted objects. And we'll be there Friday night, Saturday night. And I think the rooms in the Hoover House have all sold out, which is okay, because if you still wanted to come, the Hoover House itself is a big house. You could hang out there, you know, during the day or whatever. Pam and Steve are very welcoming. You can hang out with us for the ghost hunt when you're there. Come a little early. You can hang out. You can get a room. We're working still. We need to confirm that.
Pam is going to get a discounted rate at the Cobblestone, which is literally down the road. It's 5 minutes.
That was after the bash. The bash is over. Or should I handle that too?
And those are the type of comments that you should kiss.
I'm just saying. They sort of need to know
that you're not buried in the backyard.
Coming for the expo. First time in November. Kristen, hope you enjoy it. I really do, because we're working so hard on this one to make it hopefully the best one yet. And there's a ton of planning going into this. Yeah. Now the wheels started spinning a little faster because we're getting closer.
We both have been spending the last couple of days working on stuff for the expo.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, but December, there will be discounted rooms eventually at the Cobblestone, which is down the road from the Hoover House.
It's very close.
So even if you want to pay for the ghost hunt, the 4-hour ghost hunt, and hang out, meet and greet Cody Satori, and do the ghost hunt and just hang out at the Hoover House and spend the weekend. Waynesboro is really nice, but in Gettysburg is 20 minutes away. So it's a good time. I know everybody that was there last year had a great time. And this is just sort of our holiday feel good, get together. We investigate a haunted bed and breakfast. We have haunted objects in there. We're there. Pam and Steve is there. Cody Satori's there. You guys are there. It's just a good time.
That's a really good time.
So I'm going to start pushing that a lot because I want to.
Kristen, that's really nice to offer to help. The mayor's committee, they work the whole event for us. So thank you so much for your offer of volunteering.
Adam was actually scheduled to come to the expo, Travis, and he had to back out because he said that they were working on something else that weekend. So we had him originally way back when we were signing people, and then whatever happened, and he said he couldn't do it. So Adam was supposed to come. We would have loved to have had him there, but just didn't work out for whatever reason. Maybe you can talk to him and convince him.
Put pressure on him.
Great if you can. But we're looking forward to the expo. The expo this year, with it being 2 days, is going to be fun. It's going to be a challenge. We've never done 2 days before, and we're ready for it, though. It's going to be a grueling September, October, and November. And what's good about the expo is that it's on the 4th and the 5th, and my birthday's the week after that. So everybody who comes to the expo can bring me gifts. Everybody who comes to the event.
That's kind of like when people show up and just like, volunteer, like.
And speaking of that, we've been kicking around this idea of trying to do something because we're a 501c. Is that, am I saying it right? 501c?
501.
3C, right? You're saying C3. Is it 3C or C3?
501c3.
Okay. And we're trying to kick around the idea of, because we don't make any money at our events. We don't make any money from the expo. So we're saying, how could we make money? So we'd like to buy new equipment going into next year. And again, this equipment benefits the events we do and the places we do them at. So we're like, how could we have like an NJP kind of fundraiser event? We talked about this before, where we want to, the Barron Arts Center has been offered to us to do that. We want to have an event where it's limited to 10, 12 people, 4 hours, 5 hours if you include like a meet and greet time. And maybe we consider maybe getting some pizza for all of us, maybe for the hour before, hey, Colleen's on. You know what I mean? Maybe meet, greet, eat some pizza, then go do what we're going to do for those 4 hours. And it's going to be a different kind of event. We've already talked about that, probably haunted objects and haunted building. And it'll be a little more. It'll be a premium event. Again, it's a fundraiser, probably like $100 a person for 10 to 12 people. And then anybody else who wanted to come up during the day just to see the Barron Arts Center and support us, for whatever, $5, a dollar, whatever, could come up during the day just for a hangout, meet and greet, like we do at the Burlington prison, and just kind of, again, instead of doing the Patreon thing, doing the stars thing, doing all that, this would kind of be like a once a year type of thing that we do, that hopefully people that would support us would want to come and do this event, the ghost hunt, the objects, and maybe come hang out for a little while at the Barron and, support us.
I agree.
Okay. And
I'm not saying nothing.
We wonder why we don't talk
before.
much.
I tried to
I
say,
agree.
You cut me off.
I agree. I was listening. I agree.
No, before.
Before. I agree.
Okay, so
I agree.
I agree. Although I think he's selling it short at $1 donation. I think
I said whatever people are
willing to. I know. I'm teasing him. But I like the idea. We really do. John and I put everything that we into what we do, and like John said, John has started the Patreon, and then he stopped doing it quite a long time ago because it just felt uncomfortable taking money from anyone. And the content that we put on here, why would we shorten and take away from here to put on somewhere else for payment when we work so hard and we support each other, and you guys support us and we support you, that all of a sudden that drip dries up and goes away and you get the better, if you really want the juicy parts, you got to go to it. You got to pay for it. Yeah. We just, this way, at least we'll feel like we're giving you something back if you're giving us something. So that's kind of what was really why we came up with this kind of other thing, to maybe raise a little money to get new equipment, to expose you guys to stuff that's, John's always trying to come up with new stuff all the time.
What's such BS, April? What are you talking about? You better not be putting us down, April. Kick your ass right out of here. I'm kidding with April. April's our bud. Paranormal Savior certs are a must. Well, you never know.
April's good people.
You never know. Not what people. Well, here's the thing. Again, to say there's nothing wrong with people and their business model.
No, she's saying it's BS what people charge.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying if people have a different business model and they're charging more for ghost hunts, if they're Patreon, whatever, again, that's them. And we had a discussion with a few people about this a month ago. And again, to each his own. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Not us. It's not who we are. But to do this here and then say the Mike, Gonzalez interview is going to be next week, but on Patreon. So join our Patreon, blah, 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 because you'll see the interviews and the ghost hunts on Patreon. It just didn't seem right to us. So we were just like, you know what? Since COVID, we've done this 2-3 times a week. We've done interviews. We've done investigations. We're just going to keep doing that because we love doing it, So, but this was a way to say, hey, if you want to support us, like Chris said, we're going to give you something back because it's going to be a unique event. We'll get some pizza. We'll hang out. Then we'll go and do the ghost hunt in a different kind of way because it's not going to be like the other events that we've done.
And the truth of the matter is, the meet and greet is nice because John and I don't really get to talk when you guys come to the events and we're doing the investigation with you. We're setting up. Then we've got to do cleanup after it's over and stuff. So at the event place, and we don't get a lot of time to talk with people and interact. And to have the meet and greet gives us the opportunity to sit down and actually have conversation, talk back and forth. This we get to see the comments back and forth, but actually to be in front of each other and talking back and forth and sharing ideas and expressing jokes, whatever, getting to know each other's personalities on another level. It's unique. That's what John and I enjoy about going to the bash. We get to talk and hang out with people like we normally don't get. That's one of the reasons.
But if
why
April
we do
shows
love
up, none of us are talking. Just so you know, because it won't happen. Because April, it just won't happen. Hello from Mid Missouri. Hello.
Yeah.
Is that Gene or G? That's Gene, right? Gene. How do you say that? Is that Gene?
Gene.
I always get confused when I see it spelled that way. Is it Gene?
Gene. Could be Gene.
Love this. Yeah, we like the idea too, because again, if you just want to show and hang and not, whatever, donate anything or support, that's fine too. You being there or supporting us as well, and just coming to say hello and hang out and say, hey, we watch you guys, we follow you guys, whatever. That's fine too. We're not going to pass the hat around. That's not what it's about. It's about, it's an appreciation day for us and for you to get to, to bring the community, the NJP community together, and just, we do this at the Burlington prison as well. We had 200 people come a couple of years ago, 150 come when we did it last year, I think it was. And that money was all for them, for the Burlington prison. And they were very happy. This year we're thinking, hey, we're not going to go the route where we're charging people or we're raising the prices of our ghost hunt. And if people want to come and they buy the tickets, they do. And if they don't, they don't. Either way,
it's okay.
It is okay. We'll continue to do everything that we're doing.
Christopher, that was such a great day, being able to talk to you and get to know you. And John and I were fascinated by your travels.
And he gave me a bunch of gifts.
He did. But your stories about your travel and stuff fascinated both John and I. You're a very interesting guy.
And he gave me a bunch of gifts.
That's your
forever be near and dear to my heart, because he gave me a bunch of gifts.
What you're all learning today is that John can be bought.
Oh, not for much. It don't take much either. It's not Dunkin' Donuts card, something like that. Hey man, friend for life. I'll do those. What are those messages that people are celebrating?
Those
cameo.
Those cameos.
I'll do cameos, whatever,
God.
$10, $5. You'll get me for an hour on the phone.
Help me.
No problem. But anyway, that's what we're thinking of doing, kind of to end it out the year. Again, the Barron Arts Center has been very, very good to us, and we've supported them. The Psychic Fair in September, if you don't know about that, that's for the Barron Arts Center, September 25th in Woodbridge. All the proceeds go to the Barron Arts Center. We support Woodbridge. We support our friends, and this is going to segue into, hey guys, nice talking to you at the Bash. My first time coming and planning on coming. Yeah, it was good talking to you as well. We support our friends. This is 100% true. And within this field, things get tough. And if you're in this field, you know it. If you
gotta have a thick skin.
You've got to have a thick skin. You've got to take a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of good people as well. So it kind of balances out in the long run. And you do kind of become close friends and support those who support you. Pam and Steve, April, people like that. Bob and Gina. We can go down the list, of people that Cynthia from the Barron Arts Center, the mayor. I mean,
we've met so many people we've never would have met.
All of you guys are on that list. And we try to give that right back. And then some.
Is it Colette from England? Hello.
So, so this is what we've always done. We always say, no matter who we work with, whether or who we're associated with or who we're friends with, you guys included, we're loyal to you guys. We're committed to you guys because you supported us. We're the same that way with every location that we work with. You name the site. If a New Jersey Paranormal's name is attached to it, you talk to the people that are the directors, the administrators. They'll tell you, we're friends. We're not just people that go in there and do ghost hunts and donate money. We're friends. We have great relationships with these people, and we enjoy supporting them. Oh, Robert's watching. Hello, Robert.
Hey, Colette.
And that's always the way we've been since we've been New Jersey Paranormal, really. And now that we've expanded the group a little bit, to where the core four are still the core four. And it will be for as long as we want to be together.
I will admit it. I've gotten older, slower. and need a little more help.
I'm not even going to touch that.
I put myself.
Not even going to touch that.
I'm just.
Hello, Robert.
Listen.
Hey, Brian.
I'm putting it out there. I'm 56. I've slowed down drastically. Our schedule has not, and I need more physical help as far as like getting stuff upstairs and like and it's been tremendous to be able to have the two people that we've had that have been helping us out in so many ways and turning the reins over to certain aspects of it's taken a lot of pressure off of me and my shoulders. So I'm just saying I appreciate it, and but I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm so not a baby. You'd be surprised how old I really am. But no, I'm not ashamed to say. I mean, I think we're in a society where we're made to feel like you can't acknowledge that you're getting older and you're slowing down, or you might need a little help. And I'm one of those people that I've spent my whole life doing it by myself until John came along, and now I'm not afraid to say, hey, I need a little extra help. I've got issues. I'm not keeping up, and I'm okay with that.
I did it my
That's
way.
right. I have no shame in the game, man.
Regrets, I have a few.
I wear my age, but everything else. I'm going to give you a few.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I get it.
Okay. You know?
Luckily for you, you have access to paranormal.
You think that's luck?
24/7.
You think that's luck?
And I've got enough energy for 4 of us.
Oh, Lord.
And then some. But anyway.
You know that poem, or rather that statement that they say for sobriety, you know, what I don't give me the strength for understanding one of the things that I cannot change and what things
I don't know
blah, blah, blah.
Never
of course you wouldn't.
Never heard it. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right now. Give me the strength.
Serenity now. If you watch Seinfeld.
But I need to add to it. Give me the strength not to commit
rudely
murder.
Interrupted yet again. The core 4 of us has been for a while and will be for as long as we can coexist and be friends. Me, Chris, Tanya, Kenny. It's been that way for years, and hopefully it'll be that way for more years. Lately, we've been working with other people who are friends of ours, who we've known for a long time. Danielle Voss being someone who attended our events for forever. And Samantha, very near and dear to my heart, her daughter. And Colleen Graves, who is a witch and knows a lot about scrying and the metaphysical and the stones.
She knows a lot about a lot of stuff.
And they're kind of the other members, So
great additions.
We've expanded, for the first time in a long time. And we are happy with that. We're getting along. We're able to, do better events, we think, and shuffle things around a bit and do different things. And we're going to expand upon that, God willing, if we make it to next year and we do other things. And again, this is what's part of making a group, a good group. And what separates a good investigator from a bad investigator? You know who I'm talking to if you're watching.
Oh, man,
I'm going to get around to you, too, believe me. But anyway, that's an inside thing, by the way. But anyway, no, what I was saying was both in the private sector as well as what we do with events and all that other stuff, you got to have different people. You got to have different personalities. You got to have different beliefs to make a strong team.
You do.
To interact with people, to help people in their home. And I think that we have that on different levels. And that isn't always going to mesh between us even. But it does work when we're trying to help people and doing these events, because not everyone's going to connect. And like me, God knows
I'm difficult.
A quarter of the people like this one. I mean, I have to constantly apologize.
Go figure.
Constantly apologize
you can't control
for
me.
The potty mouth, the rude behavior, and cutting people off in mid-sentence.
It's just you I do that to. That's the thing you need to understand. It's just you. But going back to what I said about, and this is why I so appreciate John. When I sat down and I talked to John before, because, and again, I don't advertise and put it out there, getting older, surgeries. I have.
But she doesn't advertise it and put it up.
Well, we know, but I just on I'm not going into detail. I have two diseases that are affecting me. And John, when I told John that I can't keep up, it is starting to affect. I've got to make a few changes so that I have quality of life. Quality of life matters, so that I can keep enjoying life with John. It is important, so I can keep doing these events. I couldn't keep going the pace that I was going. He heard me loud and clear.
And John said, "I want to be single."
I was like,
"That's what John
bye
said."
Bye, fly away.
Sorry, when your car gets old, it breaks down,
He
and
does
it
tell
doesn't
me
drive.
that.
You get a new car. I mean,
He
it's
does
just
tell me that he'll be
what
looking
happens.
for a new chippy at some point, whatever a new chippy is. So, you know, anyone who wants to apply, please
Yeah.
do so.
Okay. But no, it just it works. It's worked for a long time, and just like with anything else in life, there are people that are going to like you. There are people that aren't going to like you. There are people that are going to talk great about you, and there are people that are going to talk smack about you. And
I'm okay with that.
It just is the way it is. Our thing is, you know, we don't really talk publicly trashing anyone specifically or mentioning names or, you know, anything like that. Those who do, it's who they are, you know, as people. You can't control that. I'd love to be part of your team, but I have no experience. Well, that's where it starts, George. You know, it starts with just opening your mind that much to the possibility of what if, and then you build upon that as you go forward. That's how everyone started, and that's how everyone journey begins.
Yeah, we're none of us were born into this.
No,
and I think that's what we all need to be mindful of.
That's what was great about talking to Mike during that interview. He was like a production guy, and it's sort of like the same with Dalen. I mean, when we interviewed Dalen Spratt from Ghost Brothers, Dalen said the same thing. He was just in TV work, and he knew that there weren't any ghost hunting shows with, you know, African American casts, and he thought, hey, this could be a way for us to get a show and to get on TV, and he went thrown right into the quote unquote ghost.
Well, it took
hunting.
4 years. He actually moved.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was just get in the building.
4 years later, he said he was driving in his car and he gets a call like, "Hey."
but with Mike, it was the same thing. Mike was involved in production, working behind the scenes, carrying a clipboard according to him, and then, hey, go! You're going into these buildings. You're going to be in the dark. You're going to be things are going to happen around you, and away he went. It all kind of starts.
He was pretty open and honest with what he shared too, and I like that when people are sharing, like, there isn't this world, you know, this superior, and I'm so intellectual and I know so much more than you.
Hey, Tina.
It's just an open, honest exchange about stuff and laughing about the missteps and the horrors of being on live TV when it's just like the count that you need to do it this way, and it's like 1, 2, 4, 5, and you're just like, boom.
We were literally
you're on TV.
The Wade and Garth of cable access TV. When we originally, before we did all this stuff all the time, we have our own cable access show in Woodbridge, TV 35. And we would go into the studio. They designed the studio for us. If you watch those old videos, we loved the studio. It made us feel like we were big shots. So they designed the studio, and Chris is in one chair, I'm in another. We're facing each other. And we would do interviews, or we would just do show clips or whatever. And it literally was like Wayne's World. When her and I are facing each other, and we've got our information and stuff like that. And to the side of us are the camera people. We could see them. The viewer couldn't. And literally, I'd be looking at a person going, and I was counting along with it and nodding my head. And they're like,
time. He's keeping time, and I'll throw a wrench in the mind. Like, in the time you'd be thrown off, and John's like, trying to give me the signal.
Let me tell you some stories about this one. And this is what I've dealt with.
I'm here to make his life good.
All along. We're doing a half-hour cable access show. A hard start, a hard finish. A half hour. We couldn't go beyond because they would cut the show. We had to end at 28 minutes and something because they had to roll the credits and the music and stuff at the end. So I could see the cue card people. They would tell me when we were halfway through, 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left. and I would time out the interview. I had my cards, my questions, subject matters to where we could nail it and get the end out and say, thank you for watching New Jersey Paranormal. We'll see you next time. I would always get the mark here. I'd get that last question in, and in my head, I'm going, okay, the interview, the person we're interviewing is finishing their story. I'm looking at the card. There's 2 minutes left. There's going to be plenty of time. And she'd go, so, another question I have is, and I'm like tapping my leg and looking at her like, stop. And I'm giving her the wrap up single underneath where I know the camera's filming, and she says, beep, 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 beep. And she literally finishes saying, I'm like, and that's all for today, people. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Boom.
That's all, folks.
And it was, and I look at her like, I'm giving you signals. And we're like, we got to work on signals. Okay. Didn't stop her. Never stops her. So that's why when we started doing this, I was like, open format. We could do this for as long as we want, an hour, whatever. I don't have to worry about the hard out. So we're in discussions to go back. Woodbridge TV wants us back to do the show again, and we're going to meet with them. I don't even know when. Soon, I think. I got to check my phone. We're supposed to meet with them soon, but don't know if we're going to do it because
we got a lot on our plate.
It's a difficult format to do. It's 30 minutes, and getting people on to do interviews, they got to come into the studio. They won't let us do anything remotely, so I don't know if we're going to do it or not again. But I'm already having flashbacks.
And here's the thing. It wasn't where you could do bits, make mistakes, and they stop and they cut it. When the cameras rolled, it was you go until it's done. There was no stop. All right, pick up from here. Go. It was literally you had to when those cameras rolled, we just kept going right through, and there was no going back and fixing. So they always told us if there was something you did not like that was said, or if there was you flubbed so bad that they just throw it out and completely start over. So we got really good at just accepting certain things.
No, John McGinnis, I don't know if you know what the original music was. Our first season, if you want to call it that, they didn't. Our studio wasn't our studio. We had a black table with 3 chairs, and there was like a red light behind us. And the New Jersey Paranormal came in, and the music was like, I told them, it was like a news station would go, and New Jersey Paranormal would kind of zoom in. And after we did the first season and they got to know us and like us, I'm like, you got to change this intro. We need something with better music and creepier. So we asked a friend of ours, Courtney, who was in a band. Could you do an intro and give us some cool kind of creepy music? And that the one you see with the picture and the 4 of us kind of where it pans around, that's the second intro.
And the ones that put the intro together is actually the Woodbridge Joe that put all that together with all the interesting pieces. He did it. It was amazing.
George, again, to answer your question, we're not taking any new members. It took us 7 years or so to expand to 6 from 4. So I don't see us going beyond that anytime soon. Again, I know there's these other groups out there that do events that have 10, 12, 15 members. Just ain't us.
John McGinnis says that music was so bad it was good.
Yeah, one day when we do another live, I'll show you both intros and again this one I just played now. No, there's no reason to apologize, George. It's just it's just us. We're a core group. But this latest thing that I did, I wanted to change it a little bit and extend the intro to show kind of everything that we do. So I found that music was copyright free, and I like it. I don't care if you like it, John McGinnis. You matter that much to me, John McGinnis. Especially after your snide remark today. I love the intro with you guys in what looks like a class. That's the Woodbridge TV 35 intro. And if you were around during the filming of that, we had the best time doing that because we did it in this haunted building. And Joe, who works for Woodbridge, is filming all this footage inside. And then there's the scene at the very end where you see the camera come from a distance and close in on us on the stairs. Joe is this little short guy, and he had this really cool camera that again real slow motion and all that. He literally 4 times in the snow is all the way in the back by the street racing racing towards the building with this camera.
We have
and
a
he would
video of
stop. Yeah, we have it on video. And then he'd like, I'm gonna do it again. And he'd run all the way back, and we're like doing our big ghost hunter pose, up there, like trying not to laugh at him. It was hysterical. But that intro was great. We loved that intro. So they did a great job. I'd love to do something with them again, but to make it different than this and do those kind of interviews would be really tough.
It would be tough.
Really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to get people on for an hour, and a half-hour format is just.
It goes by in a blink.
You literally get 5 questions, and if they're a long talker, which we've had.
Oh, keeping them on point.
You're going to get 1 or 2 questions, and we had those where it was just like. I had 8 questions, and I'm on question number 2, and it's 3 minutes left, and I'm like,
oh my God. And then trying to get information from the person you're interviewing, and you're literally feeding them there, and they're still not. Oh my God.
We had one woman on who will be nameless. It was the only episode that didn't air of all, and we didn't do retakes, which is another one to our credit. When we did this, her and I, with guests, with whatever clips and everything, one run through. They start it.
Yeah, I said
start the clock. We would see it, and boom, we'd hit the mark every time. So this particular show, I don't remember what it was about. It may have been about Psychic Kids, the first one we did, not with Judy Kay, one before. And this person seemed great over the phone. We both interviewed. Great conversation, great stories. I don't even know if it was Psychic Kids. It may have been something else. Great stories, personable, funny. And I'm thinking,
she's
okay,
great on the phone.
She's going to be great now. She even comes to the studio and does a costume change. She comes in,
looks fantastic,
clothing, and goes into the bathroom, comes out all, ready for TV. And me especially, I'm in my jeans and a t-shirt. And so we get her on, Chris.
Set.
We're sitting here and she's over there. The cameras, there's 2 or 3 different cameras. And we're literally, like Chris said, pulling. It's like pulling teeth, pulling information out of her.
So then I start trying to feed it to her.
Yeah.
Can feed it to her. Like you're preempting, like,
longest half hour of my life.
And if it was the most brutal interview. We've gotten good at doing interviews, especially John. But when me, and he at this point, he was just like, yeah, this ain't working. I'm killing myself here. And I'll try hand feeding it to him, and it just didn't happen.
Longest half hour of my life. It was, again, so we did it, and I went to the production manager.
I got them online,
What can I think of his name?
Huh?
What's his name? I can't think of his name.
About which one?
Woodbridge. The guy who went away on his boat.
Oh my God.
Can't remember his name. But anyway.
It's in my brain.
Yeah, it'll come to me later.
It's just not.
But I went into him in the booth because we could, you can see the booth with all the monitors that they do the editing. And I'm like, we're not running the show.
That interview never aired, and it was deleted.
He goes, and he looked at me because I always ask him after the show, how do you think it went? And he would go, good. This was a good one. Or this was a great one.
Oh, they love the show.
And this one, he looked at me and I'm like, that was painful. And he goes, yeah. I said, I'm not airing that. We'll film another one.
They always told us that they had to be reminded, like, because they had their headphones on, and someone in the room where they were doing all the sound check and all that stuff, and they had the screen to make sure everything was going according to plan and doing the sound checks and stuff. They would have to tell the camera people in their ear, like, okay, pan away, because they get so involved in that they would forget to do the different things because they were so interested and get caught up in it, which is a compliment. Colette would like to know, how long have we been doing this?
Doing the paranormal stuff.
I'm wondering if it's doing this.
Well, doing the paranormal stuff, it's been 20 years at least. Doing these live streams since COVID, we started doing this format. Yeah. Prior to that, we did the cable access show for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's different being on. The woman never asked you. No. We never heard from her again. But it's different again when the cameras are on you. It is such a weird feeling because it's not natural for someone to be there like this in front of you and for you to act normal and natural.
The spotlights there on the studio are brutally hot, and they're glaring bright on you.
So when we did our very first show, which was I think it might have been the Barnard Center, or if it was the Board of Ed, either one, and you're standing there, and now there's a camera on you, and you're like, go. And just like Mike said during that interview, you don't know what to do with your hands. You don't know what to do. Do you shove them in your pockets? Do you keep them up here? Do you talk with your hands? It was such a nightmare.
And we started with a table. That was the funny thing. We started with a table instead of just sitting in chairs that were like more natural and just like
it was fun. But again, it taught us how to do interviews, how to be comfortable on camera. For Kindred Spirits, when we did that, we were completely comfortable, and it was a fun experience. Like I said, I'd do it again, but it
helped us to grow.
Too much work
in a lot of ways. It was a really it was educational. It definitely got me out of my shell. When I want to speak or when I have something to say or if I'm really engaged in something, it did. Where he is more outspoken and quick with I tend to be more reserved and sucked in. It's just how I am normally, unless I've got to be triggered very passionately before I come. And that helped me to find a nice little balance.
I love interviewing people. That's what it showed me.
I wouldn't even do an EVP in front of him.
Yeah, these interviews are no different than a conversation I would have with that person if I was in the corner of the room with them, just shooting the what. In real life, I probably wouldn't even have that conversation, but in this format and being across from people and talking about just the paranormal, I love that. It's real life stuff that I have a problem with. That's why I try not to delve into that world too much. But speaking of Chip Coffey, who's near and dear friend of ours, we've known for how many years? I don't even know how many years we've known Chip now. And Chip at first, and if you know who Chip Coffey is, Paranormal State, Kindred Spirits, Chip at first was a real pain in the ass to me. And Chip, if you're watching, I love you. I mean this in the most sincere, heartfelt way. Chip at the expo, when he first came, a little bit difficult. And he would raise his voice to me a little bit here and there. But we talked after, and he apologized, and I apologized for whatever was wrong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we became good friends to the point where I posted something on my personal social media about trusting and friends and all this other stuff. And out of the blue, hey, Heather, out of the blue, Chip called me today. Look at the caller ID, Chip Coffey. And we talked for an hour. And it is like therapy.
He's a great guy.
I listed that at the expo. So Deb saw that firsthand. It is like therapy because Chip's very understanding, but Chip is one of these people like Jason Hawes and like Mike Gonzalez, who we just talked to. I appreciate people that to your face, ask a question, they'll give you an answer, whether you like it or not. It's the truth. Yeah. Straight up. What you see is what you get. That's that person. The people I don't like are people that pretend to be one way or pretend to be a friend, and yet behind their back, they're whatever. But Chip and I talked for an hour, and we talked about many different things, and we laughed, and again, it felt good to talk to Chip. But Chip has been great, and I'm hoping to have him. We want to wait till December because Chip always comes on for Christmas. And you know what that reminds me of? If you ever watch the movie as good as Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, they always talked at Christmas.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio would always call Tom Hanks and he's like, how is it that we're always talking about? Chip is that that way with us.
Yep.
We're always talking at Christmas time with Chip. And it's usually on here, and then we'll talk afterwards, or we'll talk before. But I like that tradition.
I do
And
too.
I hope we keep that up every year. Chip has joined us probably for the last 3 or 4 years here with you guys at Christmas time. And it's never a dull conversation. The guy is just.
And here's a little nugget. When the time comes and we're ready, he's actually going to officiate our wedding.
Yeah. Which we're hoping will be sooner than later. He wanted to do it over the phone, but
no, I'm not doing it over the phone.
He's like, if I ask you and you say yes and you say yes and you send me a certificate and sign it, you'll be married. I'm like, yeah, we pictured it a little different than that shit.
I do need a little bit of romance.
Yeah, it's like, we're not fancy people, but phone call wedding, yeah, at least give us a courtesy of a Zoom. I mean, could you at least do that, Chip? Please forgive me all the questions. Is there a waiting list for the public ghost hunts? George, yeah, there is. The beauty and the curse of doing what we do is that we have people that want to attend our events, and we're extremely grateful for that. And we're lucky in regards that people seem to enjoy coming to events with us and going to these different places and being with us. We're very fortunate, and we're very grateful for that. And these events do sell out to the point where we're like 3 months ahead all the time with sold out events. And in this case, we're sold out all the way to November. If you do want to come to an event, there is Adam Berry is doing an event, and we're supporting him at Liberty Hall. It's not up on the website yet, but that'll be like the only one that's available until we do our fundraising event, which is going to be very limited. And then if you want to travel to Pennsylvania, the Hoover House will be the last event of the year for sure. And that'll be a good way to go out and wrap it up and put a bow on it. And getting married by Chip. At first the idea was kind of weird to the both of us, but the more I think about doing that, the more it seems really right, because we do love Chip. Chip is a great guy, and we love Chip. Chip's a great person and a great human. And just
who better than to have a friend marry you?
Yeah, and it would feel really right to have Chip do that and us to do it in a place where, if any of you guys wanted to come.
Well, people are saying at the expo.
You're welcome. No.
We're working that.
No,
I can't.
We wouldn't have time to do it.
Yeah. That would be like, I pronounce yes, okay.
Yeah, but when
we
do it, I mean, again, we would invite you guys to come and, and Chip be there. It'd be an awesome thing, I think, for everyone. Would you guys ever go to Asylum and investigate with the Valley crew, Fox Valley? We would go anywhere. I mean, we've said that many, many times. People, ask me about investigating different locations. And if someone says it's active, we were just talking about this last week, I'd check it out. Sure. I mean, we joked that if there was a haunted outhouse where people were seeing apparitions and whatever, I'd be in there with my recorder, investigating it. Well, why not? And again, there's many different styles, and Mike brought this up as well during that, and I'm going to finish with this. There's many different styles of investigating done by many different people around the world. Yeah. And I would never presume to tell you guys or any of those people that they're doing it wrong. Now, if you're going in to help people in their home, that's different, completely different. That's a whole different subject matter. But if we're talking about just going out and investigating the paranormal, the one thing I would say, be respectful. Sure, across the board, no matter who you are and what you're doing. But other than that, methods, techniques, theories, we're all different. We're all never going to agree. We're all never going to do it the same way. We're all not going to have the same beliefs religious-wise. What happens to spirits, what we think their spirits are capable of or not capable of, what happens after you pass. No way. But I respect everyone and their methodology and their beliefs and their techniques. And I would never, ever, ever publicly come on here and say, these type of people do it that way and they're wrong. because they do it. And I don't believe I do it. Do. Never would I do that, because my experience and what we do is based on years of doing it the way we've done it and what we've experienced and our beliefs.
Everybody has different ways.
And that's it. That's where it kind of stops. And those things grow and expand as you meet new people and investigate with new people and hear new theories and experience new things. But no, never would I go publicly and trash anyone for doing what they do.
Well, it's not even.
It's unprofessional. It's unethical, and you just don't do it.
Well, here's the other aspect of it. When, and it doesn't mean necessarily saying something directly at someone, but and dissing someone or trying to tear apart someone unless they're naming them specifically. But when somebody gets up and does a live or an infomercial, whatever you want to call it, a self-promotion, and they're sitting there saying, if you want to know what a good this is, then you got to make sure that this investigator's not doing this, and if they're doing that, then they're not that good. And like, by whose standards? By whose standards? Who sets the standards to what is acceptable in the right way and what's the wrong way? When we don't even know what's on the other side and there's a definitive, there's some statements that people make that I don't understand when they don't understand what's on the other side. And that's where I kind of take a back up when somebody comes up and said, well, this is how we do it, and this is the only way to do it. For me personally, I won't engage or tell them that they're wrong, or I'll just say, well, that is not how I feel or what I believe. You're allowed to have your butt in a field that is unknown and full of questions. There are no definitives. So that's a hard pill for me to swallow when somebody gets up and states, the way they investigate is wrong. This is what you don't do. And then, but this is the way you should do it. And why should you do it this way? Because this is the way I do it. That's when I have a problem. And it kind of does make me angry when people do that and take shots at others. There are many investigators out there who do things completely different than we do. And we've got people that come to our events that have ideas that they share. And they said, well, you know what? Let's try this. And we'll say, hey, let's try it, because our way is not the right way as far as the only way. Everybody, and when you merge these things together and you work together, then maybe we get a little closer to maybe cracking that window open a little bit to a little more understanding. It's human nature.
Well, Colette said it's 2 a.m. there. And Colette, what are you doing up till 2 a.m. watching this?
We love you, Colette. Mwah.
We do. We love you, Colette. But 2 a.m. watching this, boy, you are what keeps us going.
Well, she works nights.
I know. Right now there are Amazon boxes being stolen right behind her.
She's not working. She's at home. She doesn't work till Saturday. She said, see, I read. See, this is why I look down and stuff or to the side. See, I know what's going on.
So anyway, tomorrow night is the live auction from the Creeper Gallery. We will be there. I believe it starts at 8:00. So even if you're not bidding, you should just check it out, because it'll be myself, Chris, and Donna, Marion. So that's where we'll be tomorrow night. Back at the Creeper Gallery, but not investigating. But we will be live on the Creeper Gallery live stream as part of the auction, explaining about the items, about the stories, the things that we've experienced investigating them.
Jeff.
And so I can use staying up late. I'm used to, yeah. Hey, Jeff. Jeff is one of the people that will be at the expo. Again, before we finish up here, Jeff has a collection of Ouija boards, an extensive collection of Ouija boards. So,
I also just saw on his page all the new artwork and stuff that he's doing for Ouija boards, and they're pretty cool.
So Jeff is going to have his own room at the expo, so you're going to want to come. It's one of the free exhibit rooms, one of 4 this year. So you're going to want to come. Go meet Jeff and check out all those Ouija boards and buy some of that cool merch that he has.
Oh, and by the way, we do have a silent auction that is going to happen at the expo, and the individual that's in charge of it, Tracy, she actually, we were in contact today, and she's got some amazing things that are going to be in auction.
We'll talk about that on the expo page.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting. Some of the things that are going to be on the auction table.
All right, guys. I guess we'll see you tomorrow from the Creeper. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And again, Colette, thank you for staying up till 2 a.m. I hope it's worth it in some way, shape, or form. But we do appreciate all you guys supporting our events. We appreciate you watching these live streams. And we'll announce more about the New Jersey Paranormal thing at the Barron Arts Center probably in a couple of weeks because we got to start getting that going and promoting it. But have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night. Stay safe, be well, and please remember to be kind. Good night.